News. Well, in just a few minutes, I will ask whether restaurants should be allowed to ban vegans. But another controversial topic, the transgender charity Mermaids has lost its appeal to have charitable status stripped from the gay rights organisation LGB Alliance. Mermaids launched the legal action, alleging the organisation is merely a front for transphobia. LGB Alliance says it exists to advance the rights of lesbian, gay and bisexual people. I am joined now by none other than LGBTQ activist, director of the Peter Tatchell Foundation. It is Peter Tatchell. Peter, fantastic stuff. Great to have you on the show. How do you react to this? It's being called a victory for free speech by some.
Well, it is a victory for the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual Alliance, but on a legal technicality. The judges ruled that Mermaids, the trans charity, had no legal right or standing to bring a challenge to the Charity Commission's decision to register the LGB Alliance.
Right.
What the more substantive point was whether the Charity Commission should have registered the LGB Alliance in the first place. And on that point, the judges were split evenly. One said, no, they shouldn't have been eligible for registration. The other said, yes, they should. So it was a split decision.
Okay, I mean, so was the Rwanda plan, to be fair. So I would have thought the writing was on the wall for Mermaids when Jolyon Morn, the lawyer, piped up from the Good Law Project. I would just politely suggest that he's more famous for clubbing a fox to death in his back garden one Christmas whilst wearing his wife's kimono than he is for winning high-profile legal cases. But I suppose, hey, you get the lawyer you can afford. Why should anyone not be allowed to promote just LGB rights and not the T?
Well, of course, everyone has that right. You can promote whatever you want within the law. That's fine. But let's be clear, the LGB Alliance has negligible support within the LGBT plus community. It is a tiny, fringe, discredited organisation. Most people will have nothing to do with it. It has no significant support. And it was set up precisely in order to split the LGBT plus community, to turn lesbian, gay and bisexual people against trans people,
Was it?
and to oppose trans inclusion. That's the purpose of why it was set up.
Is it really? Is it not just that it was lesbian women who didn't want trans men in their changing rooms?
Well, that's an issue which they have addressed, and that is an issue which we can have a debate about. But the important thing is that, you know, when you look at what the LGB Alliance actually does, so much of its effort is focused on opposing trans rights and inclusion. Very little about supporting lesbian, gay and bisexual people. It promised to set up a helpline. We are still waiting. You know, it hasn't set up the helpline. We don't need a helpline. We've already got dozens of helplines across the country.
But is Mermaids not equally controversial, though? I mean, they stood accused of doing a few things which obviously they quite strenuously deny, but about rushing to transition children, helping children transition, referring children to this Tavistock clinic that has now obviously got a huge amount of negative press as well. I mean, is there not an argument to say that Mermaids is even more fringe and potentially, just using some of your own words here, I think it's, you know, potentially even more dangerous and divisive than the LGB lot?
Well, if we look at Mermaid's record, we know that the vast majority of parents and trans young people who have gone to Mermaids praise its work and have found it really helpful. And they do not complain about Mermaids. They say that Mermaids has, in some cases, the parents say, Mermaids saved my child's life. I fear my child may have committed suicide, hadn't got the support they received from Mermaids. So Mermaids, it may not be blameless, but overwhelmingly it's doing amazing positive work that is supported by both trans young people and their parents.
Apparently Mermaids relies primarily on donations. I'm just wondering, for the purposes of disclosure, have you ever donated to Mermaids?
I haven't, no.
No, okay, all right, fair enough. Is it not...
I do support their work based on friends that I know whose young people have gone to Mermaids and been given huge help and their mental and physical health has dramatically improved by getting that support from Mermaids. So I think they do amazing work.
All right, your views, Peter. Thank you very much. Peter Tatchell there, who is LGBTQ activist director of the Peter Tatchell Foundation. Yes, it is interesting to see these groups kind of eating each other alive, isn't it? No, it doesn't really matter about the rights and wrongs of it. I mean, I suppose it does matter about the rights and wrongs of it, but it's just a fascinating thing to see that these groups are now splitting a community, and it just feels all very, very divisive, doesn't it? But there we go anyway. Right.